Bassingbourn Barracks has hosted its last ever passing out parade. The base has been home to the Army Training Regiment since the early 90s. Before that, it had a history as a base for bombers, including Canberras and the famous Memphis Belle during World War II. The MOD is still deciding what to do with the base. It could close completely next year. Charlotte Cross reports.
This was the last batch of recruits to pass off the square at Bassingbourn Barracks. After 18 weeks of training, they're now soldiers, posted to their regiments. For Bassingbourn, it marks the end of an era and the start of an uncertain future. The barracks is now part of the MOD's rebasing programme.
We've got too much capacity within the training system. About 2 years ago, we put 9,500 recruits into the Army, and this year we only really need about 7,300. So we simply have too much capacity. So we have other training regiments that do a very similar job to what we do here, two based in Purbright, one in Winchester and one in Harrogate, and those regiments will continue to train soldiers after we've closed.
The Army will have some presence here until the end of this year, but the MOD hasn't decided what will happen to it next.
It could possibly be used for somebody returning from Germany. It could be disposed of. We just don't know at this stage. The Army's in a state of flux. We're looking at rebasing lots of different units, and I think until that work has been completed, we're not in a position to decide really what we want to do with it.
The Army Training Regiment moved here in the early 90s, but soldiers have been trained at the base since it was handed over to the Army in 1969. Around 50,000 soldiers have passed off this square in the last 4 decades. In later years, Bassingbourn might have been an Army training base, but this place has a rich history. During World War II, it was an RAF station, and then a bomber airfield for the US Air Force. And it was from here that most famous of bombers, the Memphis Belle, flew her 25 successful missions. The Memphis Belle was one of many flying fortress bombers to operate out of Bassingbourn, attacking targets in Germany. In 1942, the famous 1,000-bomber raid on Cologne flew from here. And from 1952, Canberra bombers operated from Bassingbourn for 17 years.
Considering how long this base has been here, it's 60-odd years now. It is quite incredible. I mean, it is only closing down as a training regiment. It's going to remain as a military facility, but as a training facility, yeah, it's quite sad. And I feel quite honoured to actually have got a place here, because it is a very, very historical place. Yeah.
The future of the base may be uncertain, but these soldiers will take their place in history as the last recruits ever trained here. Charlotte Cross, Forces News, Bassingbourn.